How to plant kale seeds and care for your plants. It is a good idea to start with heirloom or organic kale seeds. You can also choose to grow kale from seedlings. When planting kale, make sure the soil is moist and the garden gets plenty of suns. Kale plants need about 10 to 12 hours of sunlight every day for them to grow properly. Kale also likes rich soil with a pH level of 6 to 7 and needs plenty of water so that it does not get crispy leaves or turn yellow. Before we share where to buy, and how to grow kale seeds with you, please plant your thumb on the subscribe button. It allows more people to hear about this kind of information. Okay, let's get growing. What is a kale? Kale is a leafy green vegetable that is high in vitamin A, C, calcium, and iron. It contains very little fat or sodium. This healthy vegetable that can be eaten raw or cooked. Raw kale can be used as an ingredient in salads, sandwiches, and soups. Cooked kale can be used as an ingredient in soups, stews, casseroles, or eaten on its own as kale chips. The word kale comes from the Old English word collard, which means cabbage plant. Why should I grow kale? Kale is a vegetable that comes in many different varieties, with varying colors and textures. There are many benefits of kale, such as it has a high amount of vitamin C and A. It provides the body with an excellent source of fiber. It has a low amount of calories and fat. It contains omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for brain health. It enhances immunity. Helps regulate blood sugar levels by slowing the conversion of carbohydrates into sugar. How to plant kale seeds. Planting kale is easy, but there are a few things you should know before starting. Follow these instructions and you'll have a beautiful garden full of kale in no time. 1. Kale needs to be planted in rich soil that gets plenty of sun. 2. Plant kale seeds about 1/4 inch deep and about 6 inches apart from each other. You can plant them closer together if you want to harvest them sooner rather than later. 3. You can also plant kale in containers if you want to bring it indoors during a cold snap. How to care for your kale garden. Step 1. Preparing the soil. The soil in your kale garden should be prepared before planting. This will ensure that the soil is well drained and has the right amount of nutrients for your plants. You can do this by adding organic compost to it. Step 2. Planting kale seeds. You can plant kale seeds directly into the ground or start them off in pots first. If you are planting them straight into the ground, make sure they are spaced out evenly so they don't compete with each other for nutrients and sunlight. If you are starting them off in pots, make sure they have enough room to grow without being cramped together and that the soil is well drained and contains a high amount of nutrients. Kale needs a lot of space to grow properly. You will need at least 6 inches between plants in order for them to thrive. Cut kale down to its base in late winter or when it has grown as much as it can. How often should I water my kale plants? One of the most common questions that people ask when they are starting to grow kale is how often should they water their plants? This is a question that has many different answers. The frequency of watering will depend on the type of soil, the amount of sun exposure, and the temperature in your area. A good rule to follow is to water your plants every 2 to 3 days for 5 minutes or so with a spray nozzle set on mist. It's also important to make sure that you have enough water in the soil so it doesn't dry out completely. A drip line on a timer could be a good option for you. Key takeaways of growing kale seeds. In conclusion, kale is a healthy and nutritious food. It provides a ton of vitamins and minerals, which can help you stay healthy as part of a balanced diet. If you are planning on growing kale in your garden, click the link below to buy organic seeds today. Thanks for watching.